Hi, I'm Alex. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. It is currently raining outside and also the first day of my period. So we're doing big cozy vibes today, nice Disneyland sweatshirt, and also filming a super original, never been seen before, never heard of video of showing you every book on my Physical TBR. So this is every book that I own that I haven't read. I did one of these last year. I want to say it was around this time, but I don't know for sure that it was. So I figured we would do another one of them now. I will say this cart had probably 25 more books on it than it does right now as of like 2 weeks ago, and I've just been like plowing through my Physical TBR. So that is great for me. Some of these books will have been in the last video, but some of them were not. I love buying books, so there's a lot here. The way that this is organized is that the top shelf is romance, the second shelf is half romance, half lit fic, and then the bottom is half fantasy, half thriller. So we're going to go through it by genre, and then they're organized by color. So we are going to start over here in this blue section. So first book I have on here is The Makeup Test by Jenny Howell. This is actually on my August TBR, so I'm hoping to get to it this month. I bought this a while ago just because I love academic romance. I love academic books in general, but the description on this is Allison Avery loves to win. After acing every academic challenge she's come up against, she's finally been accepted into her dream PhD program at Claymore University, studying medieval lit under a professor she's admired for years. And then there's somebody else who also loves winning. His name's Colin. Gets assigned to the same TA, and it becomes sort of a competition. Sounds really fun to me. I love academic rivals to lovers, and I actually know somebody with this name, which I think is funny. So that is book number one. The second one is Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. I have no idea what this book is about. I like Elle Kennedy's books. I read The Good Girl Complex and the entire Off-Campus series at this point, so I probably won't get to this summer, honestly, which means it'll probably wait until next summer, but not entirely sure. We'll see. You could comment and convince me otherwise if you've read it and liked it. Next one is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I swear to myself every summer that I'm going to read this. I think I bought it in like March of 2021, and here I am, August of 2023. It's still unread and on my TBR card, so maybe one day we'll get to it. Next one on here is Archer's Voice. I know this is like so many people like favorite books of all time. This by Mia Sheridan. I don't even know what this book is about, but everyone loves it and rates it 5 stars, so we'll see when I get to it, if I get to it, whatever. Another one of those books I've owned since 2021, The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer Smith. I'm not in a rush to get to this. I really am not. I think it's set in Edinburgh, which is why I wanted to read it. That's where I studied abroad. One of my friends gave this to me, and I still have not gotten there, so sorry, Cooper, if you're watching this. Next book is sort of a newer edition. It's Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. I bought this. I was really excited for it, and then I saw a ton of bad reviews all in a row, so it's kind of fallen off my radar, but it is here and in my CBR cart. Next is Cheat Day by Liv Stratman, which I had started reading and had a bookmark in, but this thing of tabs just fell out, but that's okay because I was gonna have to restart it anyways. This is Cheat Day. I like went out and bought this book on a whim one day. I think while I was at my old job, I literally went out. I took my lunch at like 10 a.m. or something so I could go buy it. Haven't read it, so here it is, still on the shelf. Next book on here is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I intended to read this book in June, didn't happen. Do you see the pattern here? I don't know if I'll read this outside of June just because that's how the type of person I am, but I do have a hold on this, the audiobook for this through Libby, so if that comes available soon, then I will probably listen to it just to get it off of this card. Next I have Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I was really excited to read this book because people like the rest of the books in the series, but then I started seeing a lot of really negative things about it on TikTok, and I think that part of that is just like, it's like the people who are like, if you like Colleen Hoover, you're not a real reader. It's those kind of people who are saying bad things about this, and I know that I should just read it and like let myself be entertained by it, but I have such a block right now because of all the TikToks I've been seeing. The next book I have is Things We Never Got Over, and I'll skip ahead a little bit. I also have Things We Have from Hide from the Light. I got this one at Barnes in a buy one get one 50, and then I saw this one the same day at Costco for $11, so I got both. I do want to read the Knocking Out series. I don't know, they give me fall vibes. I know a lot of people say they're like summery, but there's something about the small town romance just is giving fall, so I think it's going to be a fall read for me. Next book on here is Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Stephen Broca. This is a couple that writes together, and they produced The Roughest Draft, which is one of my favorite books. And I heard some negative things about this, but I know a lot of people also don't like The Roughest Draft, so I'm trying not to let it turn me off of reading this book. But I do want to get to this soon because I know that I like their writing. The next book on here is Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and along with that I have Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. I started reading this book, I'm on page 50. I started reading it I think over a year ago. No, because I read the first two at the end of last August, so I guess I probably started reading this in September or October, and have not continued yet. Also bought myself this one before I went on a book buying ban just in case I got around to this and wanted to pick this one up. It didn't happen, obviously, but I have those two, so I'm ready to finish out that universe, although I know there is another Magnolia Parks book coming soon. So flipping it around to the pink side, which, is prettier, I have The Lucky List by Rachel Lippincott. This is the author who wrote 5 Feet Apart, which I did like, and I also, obviously the movie was great, but I bought this during June to read during Pride. This is actually the only book that I read for Pride Month that I didn't read, but I do want to get to this because this author is incredible, and I've heard great things about this book. The next book on here is Throttled by Lauren Asher, which I am actually reading right now. I'm on page 85 or 90, and I'm hoping to finish it today, so hopefully soon this will no longer be on the TBR cart, but it is there right this second as of filming. Next book on here is Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory. My husband got me this for Valentine's Day, and he wrote in the front of this as a card, if you're a reader and you don't keep cards, I would highly recommend asking your significant other to just write in a book for you, because I know that I'm going to love this book forever. The next one that I have is Booked on a Feeling by J.C. Lee. I think I've put this on 3 or 4 TBRs. Have not gotten there. Maybe one day. It's cute. It's a nice cover. I like looking at it. Maybe that's why I'm leaving it here. We'll go with that. Next I have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I read Every Summer After and sort of hated it, so I'm not super excited to go into this, but I'm hoping that with it not being just a copycat story of other books that maybe I'll like it more, but I'm not in a rush to read this at all. Next book that I have is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I also have When in Rome. When in Rome is on my TBR for August, so I'm hoping to get through this and then I'll get through this one after. I actually just had the Libby hold for the digital copy of this come to my account today, and I'm always more likely to read books if they are available digitally, so I will probably get to that one relatively soon. Next Next I have Not the Plan by Gia de Cadenet. This is like a political rivals romance, except they're on like opposing campaigns or something. But this is on my August TBR. We will see. It's very short. I think it's like 270 pages, so it should be pretty easy. Another book on my August TBR is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I have owned this book for far too long, especially as somebody who watches Larry Reed's like TikToks drinking the Aaron Blackford literally every day. I need to just read this book. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the month, but stay tuned for the wrap up to see. Also on the August TBR is Set on You by Amy Leah. This is the first book to X's and O's, which I feel like everybody's read, but I thought this one sounded more interesting. It's about a fitness influencer, so I thought that would be good. The next book is Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is the second book to What If It's Us. I waited for like a year and a half, maybe just a year, for my best friend to send me this after he finished it, and he never did, so I haven't bought my own copy, but that's fine. Once again, Cooper, if you're watching, thanks. And then I have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This is also on my August TBR. Are we sensing a pattern here? I read Mr. Wrong Number pretty recently and learned that I really like Lynn Painter's new adult romances, so here's this one. Next one on here, also somehow on my TBR, I did a random number generator to choose my TBR this month. If you haven't watched the video, go watch it. And it somehow cleared out this entire section of my TBR art. Like, how did that even happen? Anyways, the next one is Frat Girl by Kylie Roche. It's about a girl who decides to like join a fraternity to write like a paper on some of the like misogyny and stuff that's happening inside of it. So I thought this sounded interesting when I like picked it up, but I haven't had any desire to read it since, so we'll see what happens. Going back to this other side, because that's where the rest of the romance is, I have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which I feel like everybody talks about and everybody's read, and I would like to read it. I just haven't yet. And then moving on to like the darker romance books, I guess. They Are Black. I don't know if they're actually like dark, but I Fell in Love with Hope by Lynn Colley. This is on my 23 books to read in 2023 list, so I am really hoping to get to this before the end of the year. This might be like a fall read for me, but I am not sure. And then I have Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which I know the next book to this comes out next month. This is a like Peter Pan reimagining where like Hook wins. And then I have Priest by Sierra Simone, which I genuinely have no idea what this is about. I just hear a lot of people recommend it, and I think I sort of got it confused with Praise, which I'm not sure which one I was aiming to buy, but I own Priest. And then moving on to the two classics that I own. There's literally only two, so I don't want to say some because that's a lie. I have this copy of Jane Eyre that I just thought was absolutely gorgeous, so I had to buy it. Have I read it? No. Will I read it? Probably not. We'll see. I already read my classic for the year. I finished Inferno in January, so. And then I have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, which a friend let me borrow this in literally 2017 and I never gave it back, so Brent, if you're watching, sorry, thanks for the book. I think I said that last time I filmed this video too. Next I have my like holiday romances. I have 3 on deck. I've owned these for years and I haven't read them. So first I have In Holidays by Christina Lauren. This is probably the one that I'm most excited to read. I know it's like a Groundhog Day but like Christmas. And then I have The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. I read something else by her and I remember kind of liking it. Not that I could tell you what it was, but so we'll see how this one is. And then the last one I have is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, which I think is about like twins who swap places or something. So those are my 3 holiday books. Moving on to like lit fic and general fiction, we have The Most Likely Club by Alyssa Friedland. This is about a group of people who were voted like most likely to whatever in high school, and now they're all like meeting up to see what happened in their lives. Then I have The Swans of Fifth Avenue, which I think is a historical fiction book, but I genuinely have no idea. Next, I have The Humans by Matt Haig. After I read The Midnight Library by him, I wanted to immediately go buy something else, and this cover I thought was like gorgeous, so that's why I picked that up. Do I know what it's about? No. Next, I have Been There, Married That by Gigi Lavangier. I can't pronounce that, but I read the description of this a while ago, and I remember thinking it sounded really interesting. Ordering it on like a used book website, it coming in, and then never looking at it again. The one sentence synopsis is, in a world where therapists look like the Real Housewives of Equinox, where friends dispense Xanax like Pez, and where a woman's status is directly linked to how few carbs she eats, can one Hollywood wife take back her life? So that sounds interesting to me. I have Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I bought this book because my husband, before he was my husband, we were on a plane and his like AirPods were dead and his phone was almost dead. We were at an airport about to get on a plane. So I went and picked him up a book from the bookstore. I thought Anxious People was something that sounded like he would like it. There's still his bookmark in it on like page 24. So I know this is getting made into a movie, or maybe it just got made into a movie, so I definitely want to read this soon. So it'll probably end up on either my September or October like TBR. Next I have Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I read Normal People and really liked it, so I bought another one of her books. Do I know what it's about? No. And I have The Girl in the High-Heeled Shoes. I think this is another historical fiction book, but I genuinely have no idea. The one sentence thing is, a missing con artist, a murdered chorus girl, a case for Alexander Brass. So I guess this is a mystery and not general fiction. I should move where this is on my TBR card. Next I have The German Girl by Armando Lucas Correa. I am certain that this one is historical fiction, but I don't know anything about it other than that. It's like a World War II historical fiction. Who's calling me? The university I went to ask for money. What else is new? Okay. Next one I have on here is I'll Eat When I'm Dead by Barbara Borland. I don't know what this one's about. Again, I got it from like a used book thing, picked it up, was like, cool, that's great. Next I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I actually currently have the audiobook for this. It's the only active audiobook I have at the moment. So I will probably be listening to this on my car ride to work tomorrow. But I'm really excited. I know the next one comes out soon, and the newest one that is coming out is pink, which I love. Not that the color of the book says how good it is or not, I am excited that it's pink. And I have The Rumor by Ellen Hilderbrand. I bought this book at like a used book thing. I have no idea what it's about, but Ellen Hilderbrand is a summer author. It's like a sitting on the beach kind of read, and that's just not what I'm doing at the moment, so it's not getting read. Then I have No One Ever Asked by Katie Ganchert. I bought this for a book club in New Jersey and then never showed up to the book club, so there's that. And I have 100 Other Girls by Iman Harari Kia. I saw some people talking about this and it sounded really good to me, about somebody living in New York City, and the one sentence summary is, how far would you go to keep the job 100 other girls are ready to take? So we'll see how that one is. And then these ones are the start of my like mystery thriller section. So I have a Half-Baked Murder by Emily George, which is about somebody opening like a cannabis bakery who has to like solve a murder, and then The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, which I read like one Lucy Foley book like every probably 6 months, and it's about time. I haven't read one since February. So the back of this book says, A New Year's Reunion in the Remote Scottish Wilderness, the beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, the outsider. One of these friends is a murderer, and one won't make it out alive. So that sounds interesting to me. Moving on with the rest of my mysteries, I have Pride and Premeditation by Chizra Price. I saw this a while ago. It's like a YA, like murder mystery based like sort of around Jane Austen books. So I think that one's gonna be interesting. And then I have Not So Perfect Strangers by Elsie Stratton. Yeah, a Barnes & Noble bookseller recommended this to me, so I picked it up. I'm very easily influenced, so there's that. And then I have The Sinful Lives of Trophy Wives, which is on my August TBR, so hopefully I'll get through it this month. This is also a super short read. I have 6 Wicked Reasons by Joe Spain. The like one sentence summary of this is one family, one night, 10 years of lies. So I'm curious how this one's gonna be. I bought it online so long ago, and I genuinely don't remember. And then I also have The Hunting Wives by May Cobb, which this one I'm excited to read as well. But I don't remember what it's about, to be honest. Moving right along. I have Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. This is the second book to Be Liars. Then I have The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book to The Inheritance Games. Then I have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, which is the most recent book I picked up, and I think this is like dark academia sort of, but also a mystery. So that one should be good. I don't even get, things are falling everywhere. Whatever. And I have Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. This is about somebody in the hospital, like in a coma, but she can hear everything that's going on around her. It just sounded like an interesting concept to me. And then I have The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I went and picked this up immediately after reading Silent Patient, and still haven't gotten to it. And then I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which, as you can see, I started and have a bookmark in and have not continued with yet, so we will get there one day. Okay, last shelf on the TBR cart, and then I have a couple of hardcover books in my office, and we will be finished. These ones are a lot harder to take out. They're kind of stuck in there, so we're going to move to the floor. Okay, so on this bottom shelf, like I said, this is all my fantasy books. So we have Vicious by V. Schwab. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. We have Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. We have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Caraval, also by Stephanie Garber. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. What a mess. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The Atlas Six by Olive E. Blake. If We Were Villains by ML Rio. The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. And then randomly, The Outsider by Stephen King. This is the only horror book I own, so it's sort of on its own here. Let me go grab the hardcover books and then we will finish up. We are now down to just the hardcover books. So really quick, I have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I found this for so long. I need to read it. I have The Paper Palace by Miranda Kelly Heller. I got this for $1 at Goodwill. Don't sleep on Goodwill. Next, I have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I got this at my library's used bookstore, also for $1. So that was good. Then I have Golden Girl by Ellen Hildebrand. The Last Checkmate by Gabriella Saab. And Sick in the Head by June Apatow, which I've read some of this, but not all of it. It's just interviews with a bunch of comedians, but that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for joining me on this account of my TBR. I think there's 80 books on it right now, but I'll put the actual number in right there. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.